Hello everybody, this is Dr. Cole speaking to you late Saturday evening, August 21st. You'll be finding the link to this video Sunday or Monday, I assume, as we move into week 2 of Constitutional Law, Political Science 3753 for the fall term of 2021. Everyone, our first discussion continues through Monday. You have until the end of the day Monday to finish up the discussion. I've looked in on the discussion a couple of times, and I thought the comments on the whole were pretty thoughtful. Remember, we have 2 articles to look at, pro and con, on the issue of originalism in interpreting the Constitution. You have an article by Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch and by the dean of an important law school at the University of California, and those 2 people take opposing views on the issue of originalism. So if you have not done so already, you want to log in with an original post and then a response to at least one of your classmates by the end of the day Monday. That will be discussion 1. Coming up Wednesday, we have quiz number 1. Now we've asked you to look at 3 things. We have an article by Ramesh Ponnuru from National Review, continuing the discussion of the issue of originalism. Then we have 2 Supreme Court cases we're asking you to look at. One of them is Ex parte McCardle, which is in your textbook. It really takes up only a page or 2 in your textbook. And then the case of Baker versus Carr, for which we posted an excerpt that we photocopied out of a longer 2-volume version of your textbook. It's not found in your textbook, except for a brief discussion. Okay. Now, you may wish to look ahead to the material that's on the syllabus for the week of the 30th. Okay, because this has to do with the issue of reigning in the court, especially in Ex parte McCardle, where Congress attempts to remove a matter from the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Then in Baker versus Carr, we have the issue of the political question doctrine as a sort of threshold for whether a case can be considered by the Supreme Court. If it's political, if the Supreme Court finds the question in its judgment to be political, it deems it a political question, and will stipulate that it's going to leave that to the political branches to be resolved. The President, the Congress, or perhaps the state governments. The issues raised are a little different when it's the state governments vis-a-vis the coordinate branches of the federal government. But that's the issue that's raised in Baker versus Carr. Is the issue there a political question or not? If it's a political question, the Supreme Court may choose to duck it. Now, as you look at that material, you'll notice the Supreme Court took this question up in 1948, and then pretty much exactly the same issue in 1962 with Baker versus Carr. The first time around, they deemed it to be a political question. The second time, they did not. They went ahead and decided the case. So what were their reasons for ducking the issue in 1948, but not in 1962? All right, so that raises the issue of threshold requirements, which is dealt with in some class notes that are already up on the course website for the week of the 30th. Not this week, but next week. What we have on the syllabus for this week is the issue of judicial review. And it's the power of judicial review that makes the Supreme Court so controversial. The power to declare acts of Congress or actions of government at any level to be unconstitutional. And as you look through those class notes, you'll see some of the more controversial examples of judicial review throughout American history, including the first time the power was exercised in Marbury versus Madison, and then later in our history, several decades later, the very sensitive case of Dred Scott. Okay, so some issues with regard to judicial review are raised in the class notes that are on the syllabus for this week. Those are lectures, the class notes for lectures 2 and 3 on judicial review. Then for next week, we have lecture notes 4 and 5 on efforts to curb the court, and then in lecture 5 on threshold requirements. You may wish to take a peek at those before you take your quiz this week. Although strictly speaking, what you're responsible for is the 3 readings I have assigned, the one by Ponnuru, and then the the cases of Ex parte McArdle and Baker versus Carr. All right, so that gives you quite a bit to chew on for this week. The discussion ends Monday. The quiz is Wednesday. It'll be available for 24 hours on Wednesday. And then we will be moving on. We'll get another quiz assignment and another discussion topic out shortly after that. We may take a hiatus of a few days or a week or so before we go on to another quiz assignment and another discussion. But you have quite a bit to chew on for this week. Again, your discussion ends on Monday. Your quiz will be available for 24 hours on Wednesday. 10 true-false questions. Expect to have 3 or 4 true-false questions on each one of those readings in your assignment. So please contact me if you're having any difficulty with that, any difficulty accessing any of the readings. Okay, please contact me. Otherwise, we wish you good luck on the quiz on Wednesday, and we'll be talking to you again about a week from now at this time. Take it easy, study hard, good luck on the quiz.